You've been layering wrong for hunting all of this time. Welcome back to On the Scout. I'm Don. I'm a hunting guide. I've been guiding for 10 years in Montana, Wyoming, at higher altitudes, 8,500 feet to a little bit below 11,000 feet. I guide hunts from September all the way through Thanksgiving, so I see a lot of different temperature conditions. The biggest foundation of an effective layering system for hunting out west is that we have to have good strategy. What is the hunter doing? The hunter is approximately in 3 different cardio modes. You're going to be climbing fast, moving fast, going uphill, high cardio. Sometimes you're going to be sneaking and stalking, moderate cardio. And a lot of the time, honestly, we're sitting static or glassing, low cardio. So 3 different cardio states, we have to make layer systems to match that. We need to look at what temperature range you're hunting in, and then some, and build your layer system around that. I view temperature in 3 different categories. Early season, it's going to be hot, the wildflowers are out, the birds are chirping. There's still going to be snow and rain at that elevation in the early archery season, but we still need a layer system that's effective, wicking sweat, so we don't get chilled and get damp and uncomfortable and have a hard time. We need to have layers that are quick drying. That way we can continue hunting and not have a bunch of moisture on our clothing. We still need to have rain gear. We still need to have insulation because a foot of snow can fall in September 1st up there. The mid-season is the slush season, it's the muddy season. Precip could come in snow, it could come as sleet, it could come as rain, and that's why there's so many tech hunting companies making awesome garments to protect hunters from this particular temperature range. So the mid-season is notorious because you have to choose your layers and materials right. If you choose a down jacket for the mid-season, it's really easy for that slushy, drippy, inclement weather to wet that insulation out, and soon enough you could find yourself hypothermic in a survival situation, or even worse, just having a bad day hunting and you just want to go back to camp. The elk win that one. So on the far end is the end of rifle, heading into late season hunts towards like November, towards Thanksgiving. We're talking precipitation is going to be dry. Temperature is going to be below 32 degrees, heading into even -30. Down is the key. You can't bring enough wool and synthetic insulation. You have to supplement with down because it's so light and it's so effective in a dry, cold environment like this. That's the spectrum of environments we have to deal with. We have early season, we have moderate, and we have extreme. And on the other axis, we're gonna have high cardio, moderate cardio, and low cardio. And we have to begin to assemble our layer system based on how we hunt and what's going on. So let's talk through some scenarios that could enlighten you on how to transition. That's the key thing, transitioning between cardio modes in various temperature circumstances. So let me tell you a story. So imagine you're leaving your hunting camp September 3rd, we're in the high Rockies. The weather forecast is sunny during the day, afternoon showers. The morning temperature is in the 30s. The ground is crispy, but the midday you know is sunny and hot after the monsoon rains come through. You'll be starting your hunt on horseback or on ATV, wearing basically everything you're carrying with you that day, layered up because you're static, you're staying still, and it's windy and cold on top of a horse or an ATV. You ride to the end of the trail, you hop off. You need to change layers because you're about to climb 2 ridges to get away from the pack trail. So don't be silly, start chilly. We're gonna delayer as far down as I need to go, whether it might just be a jacket and a shirt, it might just be my base layer. So I wear a camel base layer for that reason. At every break, I need to put layers on, like 1 or 2 layers on to slow the evaporation of sweat. You're asking, Don, why would I keep sweat on me? Isn't getting rid of sweat the point of these moisture wicking? It's true, the point of moisture wicking is to get sweat off of you, but we need to control the evaporation of the sweat on our skin and clothes, or else if it cools my body too fast, I'm actually going to go towards hypothermia, and I'm burning extra calories that I pay good money for. So we're climbing, and as we're climbing up, in the distance, the next ridge over, we hear a bunch of bugling. So we move quick, and we get to right before where we think the elk are going to be, where the bugling came from. I'm going to add a layer and open up my vents. I'm going to open up the pit zips. I'm going to open up my side pant leg zips, and we're going to make kind of a moderate cardio stalk with all vents open. Then we hear a close-on bugle in the timber and some cow calling. At this point, it's on. And we're going to decrease our cardio level again. So quietly, I'm going to put my gloves on, I'll pull my buff up, and then I'm going to close the vents quietly to hold in the heat, and then we're going to make the stalk in. Even put the hood on. If that changing the pit zips didn't help to increase my body temperature, I'm going to put the hood on And so we're gonna set the hunters up and we begin calling, and let's say the archer misses and the whole herd blows out of the county. So now we need to change modes again. We need to climb back up the hill to go to a vantage point to glass new elk because we lost our herd. While going up that short hill to get to a vantage point, I'm gonna open up the vents again, drop the hood off, take the gloves off. When we get to the glassing point, close the vents again, transition towards a lower cardio mode, towards static mode. I want to put on almost all of my clothes, if not all of my clothes, to stay warm while they're static, because we're going to be glassing in the wind, possibly the rain, the rest of the afternoon until we find new elk. So that's kind of a one layer example of the layer system in practice. These scenarios have happened to me, they've happened to hunters I've guided, they happen to other guides I've seen out in the field. The key takeaway is know where your cardio level is. Know what temperature ranges your hunt happens to fall into, and have a proactive plan on how to change your clothing up, how to change your layers, putting gloves on, changing hoods to match what's happening around you before things get bad. That way you can have a successful hunt, a fun hunt. You can focus on the things that matter, like enjoying your trophy, enjoying time at camp, and not being cold or wet. Thanks for watching. I'm Don on the Scout. Please like, subscribe, and set notify. If you want to support more content like this, please join me on Patreon.